Okay, hello. We are live, I think. Okay. Make sure this thing's working right. I'll get. If I could ever get on time. Oh, what's going on here? Why isn't my deal showing up here? Damn on Samsung. Okay. Oh, now I'm losing the signal. It's gonna be a crappy night, people. Crappy night. I don't know why. Shouldn't be. This is terrible. What the hell is going on here? Okay, hold on a second. Oh, that's why. Hold on. Okay, I gotta start over. Okay, there it is. I was on the satellite internet for some reason. Have no clue why that was. I thought I was on the phone internet, but I could tell how it was running that it was no good. Okay, but now we're back on the right one now. Make sure the tablet's on the right one. And there we go. Okay, now we're on the right one. Oh boy. Okay, things working. Hey, good morning, Dick. Oh, almost morning. Well, tonight we're gonna switch up. We're gonna do as you requested. We're gonna do the Book of Judges. All right. Can you hear me? All right. I don't have my window open yet. Alright, can you hear me? I got it liked and shared already, so we're good to go. Let me get my other window open so I can hear what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna do, if you're okay with it, the chapters might be kind of long, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the for some reason I'm not showing on it. Okay, let me say hello. Hello is my other self. And I can even say hello as me. Really screwed up, right? Might as well go all out. Okay, hold on a second now. Why isn't that showing the live? Oh boy. Okay, I should be on that one, okay? I'm on the right one here. Okay, that's the live one there. Yeah, okay. I got it. Okay, chat. Oh, there we go. I get it figured out yet. Okay, there it is. Okay, I got me on there twice. As Nick and as myself, okay? And then, of course, I'm the radio as well. So 3 times, actually. But, can you hear me? I don't know. Oh, okay, there you go. Yep, you can hear me. Alright, so we're going to do Judges 1 through 5. I hope 5 is not too long. If it is, we won't do 5 chapters the next time. At this point, though, we'll do 1 through 5. We'll get done when it gets done. Okay? I'm going to do the music, as always. I will add the last video portion of it after the reading is done. Okay, so if I fall asleep, kick me and wake me up. Alright, so let's give it a try here. Okay, we're going to add the music part, that was the beginning of it right now, and then when the music gets done, I'll have to add the reading. 2 separate things here that I have to add here. Kind of stinks I have to do it this way, but until they allow us to use the Bible in the free domain, we'll stop doing it this way. Here's the music part of it, though, the beginning of it.
Wish I had a kitchen with a big wooden table and a bay window looking out over the back 40 acres. I wish I had a back 40 acres full of flowers and cucumbers and a path through the woods down the hill to the river. You there with forgotten, come sit around my table. We'll feast from the garden, tell stories of madness. Stories of crazy and lost inhibitions, and adventures to the tops of the highest of mountains, and down to the valleys, down and up again. And I'll meet you there, with those stones in the water, those stones in the water, those stones in the water. Dear sweet friend, how have you been? I've been around the world and back again. Did you ever get my letters? If you didn't, that's okay. I mostly wrote them down for myself anyway. I wish I had a fire with a circle full of family, your arms around my middle, so strong to hold me. Laughter and song, moonlight and stories. I'd throw words in the fire and give them to cinder. All my fears and desires, cumbersome hindrance. Life in the sun, life in the shadows. And I'll meet you there, with those stones in the water, with those stones in the water, with those stones in the water. I'll meet you there, I'll meet you there.
Well, I wanna write you a story, but I ain't got one to tell. One that's laden with hooks like you read in a book, and it gets itself stuck in your head. All I've got is this guitar and a heart that's been broken into. A few little songs, hope you'll all sing along and have a drink or two. As the band it plays, and that music keeps calling our names. Who we are and who we're becoming is all about change. I know these stories won't leave us the same. Well, the world, it keeps on changing, but me, I stay the same. At least that's what I tell myself, so I've got somebody to blame. It's time to look in the mirror to the things we cannot see. If this world's gonna get any better, then it has to start with me. been caught up in the madness. We've all got stories to tell, 'cause we've all seen glimpses of heaven and walked through pieces of hell. But we're all still left here standing, and we won't be afraid, 'cause we're all in this together. I know these stories won't leave us the same.
All right. All right, let me get that other file going. Yeah, it's a little bit challenging doing it this way, but we can get it done, and that's all that matters. Okay, now I actually know where I got it saved, so let's hope I can find it. Okay. Is it right there? Is that it? No, that's not it. I thought I had it saved there. Oh, here. This one. There it is. Okay, this is the Book of Judges, chapters 1 through 5. Okay, here we go. Tell me how you think, or what you think about this sound. There won't be any, there might be a picture that shows up as a thumbnail. I have no clue what that picture is, except for the introduction to what the Book of Judges is. I can't see it very well, so I have no clue what it is. I'm guessing that's all it is. Thumbnail of the introduction to the Book of Judges, I guess. Okay, so here we go.
The Book of Judges, Chapter 1. Now after the death of Joshua, it came to pass that the children of Israel asked the Lord, saying, Who shall go up for us against the Canaanites first to fight against them? And the Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. And Judah said unto Simeon his brother, Come up with me into my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites, and I likewise will go with thee into thy lot. So Simeon went with him. And Judah went up, and the Lord delivered the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hand. And they slew of them in Bezek 10,000 men. And they found Adoni-Bezek in Bezek, and they fought against him, and they slew the Canaanites and the Perizzites. But Adoni-Bezek fled, and they pursued after him, and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and his great toes. And Adoni-Bezek said, 70 kings, having their thumbs and their great toes cut off, gathered their meat under my table. As I have done, so God hath requited me. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and there he died. Now the children of Judah had fought against Jerusalem, and had taken it, and smitten it with the edge of the sword, and set the city on fire. And afterward the children of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites that dwelt in the mountain, and in the south, and in the valley. And Judah went against the Canaanites that dwelt in Hebron. Now the name of Hebron before was Kirjath-arba, and they slew Shei, and Ahiman, and Talmai. And from thence he went against the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Kirjath-sepher. And Caleb said, He that smiteth Kirjath-sepher, and taketh it, to him will I give Achsah my daughter to wife. And Othniel the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, took it, and he gave him Achsah his daughter to wife. And it came to pass, when she came to him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she lighted from off her ass, and Caleb said unto her, What wilt thou? And she said unto him, Give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land. Give me also springs of water. And Caleb gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. And the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up out of the city of palm trees with the children of Judah into the wilderness of Judah, which lieth in the south of Arad. And they went and dwelt among the people. And Judah went with Simeon his brother, and they slew the Canaanites that inhabited Zephath, and utterly destroyed it. And the name of the city was called Hormah. Also Judah took Gaza with the coast thereof, and Askelon with the coast thereof, and Ekron with the coast thereof. And the Lord was with Judah, and he drave out the inhabitants of the mountain, but could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley, because they had chariots of iron. And they gave Hebron unto Caleb, as Moses said, and he expelled thence the 3 sons of Anak. And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites that inhabited Jerusalem, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem unto this day. And the house of Joseph, they also went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with them. And the house of Joseph sent to descry Bethel. Now the name of the city before was Luz. And the spies saw a man come forth out of the city, and they said unto him, Show us, we pray thee, the entrance into the city, and we will show thee mercy. And when the man showed them the entrance into the city, they smote the city with the edge of the sword, but they let go the man and all his family. And the man went into the land of the Hittites, and built a city, and called the name thereof Luz, which is the name thereof unto this day. Neither did Manasseh drive out the inhabitants of Bethshean and her towns, nor Taanach and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Ibleam and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. And it came to pass, when Israel was strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, and did not utterly drive them out. Nor did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwelt in Gezer among them. Neither did Zebulun drive out the inhabitants of Kitron, nor the inhabitants of Nahalal, but the Canaanites dwelt among them, and became tributaries. Neither did Asher drive out the inhabitants of Acco, nor the inhabitants of Zidon, nor Alab, nor of Achzib, nor of Helba, nor of Aphik, nor of Rehob. But the Asherites dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land, for they did not drive them out. Neither did Naphtali drive out the inhabitants of Beth-shemesh, nor the inhabitants of Bethanath, but he dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. Nevertheless the inhabitants of Beth-shemesh and of Bethanath became tributaries unto them. And the Amorites forced the children of Dan into the mountain, for they would not suffer them to come down to the valley. But the Amorites would dwell in Mount Heres, in Aijalon, and in Shaalbim. Yet the hand of the house of Joseph prevailed, so that they became tributaries. And the coast of the Amorites was from the going up to Akrabim from the rock and upward. Chapter 2. And an angel of the Lord came up from Gilgal to Bochim, and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt, and have brought you unto the land which I sware unto your fathers, and I said, I will never break my covenant with you. And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. Ye shall throw down their altars. But ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. And it came to pass, when the angel of the Lord spake these words unto the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. And they called the name of that place Bochim, and they sacrificed there unto the Lord. And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua, and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, and had seen all the great works of the Lord that he had done for Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath-Heres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hill Gaash. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers. And there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and served Baalim. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. And they forsook the Lord, and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. Whithersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord had said, and as the Lord had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a-whoring after other gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge, and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For it repented the Lord because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. And it came to pass, when the judge was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, in following other gods to serve them, and to bow down unto them. They ceased not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And he said, Because that this people hath transgressed my covenant which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them, of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein as their fathers did keep it, or not. Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. Chapter 3. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof, namely 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians, and the Hivites that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal-Hermon unto the entering in of Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, Hittites, and Amorites, and Perizzites, and Hivites, and Jebusites. And they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgat the Lord their God, and served Baalim and the groves. Therefore the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Cushan-Rishathaim 8 years. And when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel, and went out to war. And the Lord delivered Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand, and his hand prevailed against Cushan-Rishathaim. And the land had rest 40 years, and Othniel the son of Kenaz died. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord strengthened Eglon the king of Moab against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. And he gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon the king of Moab 18 years. But when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised them up a deliverer, Ehud the son of Gera, a Benjamite, a man left-handed, and by him the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon the king of Moab. But Ehud made him a dagger which had 2 edges of a cubit length, and he did gird it under his raiment upon his right thigh. And he brought the present unto Eglon king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. And when he had made an end to offer the present, he sent away the people that bare the present, but he himself turned again from the quarries that were by Gilgal, and said, I have a secret errand unto thee, O king. Who said, Keep silence. And all that stood by him went out from him. And Ehud came unto him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor, which he had for himself alone. And Ehud said, I have a message from God unto thee. And he rose out of his seat. And Ehud put forth his left hand, and took the dagger from his right thigh, and thrust it into his belly. And the heft also went in after the blade, and the fat closed upon the blade, so that he could not draw the dagger out of his belly, and the dirt came out. And Ehud went forth through the porch, and shut the doors of the parlor upon him, and locked them. When he was gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlor were locked, they said, Surely he covereth his feet in his summer chamber. And they tarried till they were ashamed, and behold, he opened not the doors of the parlor. Therefore they took a key, and opened them, and behold, their lord was fallen down dead on the earth. And Ehud escaped while they tarried, and passed beyond the quarries, and escaped unto Seireth. And it came to pass, when he was come, that he blew a trumpet in the mountain of Ephraim, and the children of Israel went down with him from the mount, and he before them. And he said unto them, Follow after me, for the Lord hath delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. And they went down after him, and took the fords of Jordan toward Moab, and suffered not a man to pass over. And they slew of Moab at that time about 10,000 men, all lusty and all men of valor, and there escaped not a man. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest 80 years. And after him was Shamgar the son of Anath, which slew of the Philistines 600 men with an ox goad, and he also delivered Israel. Chapter 4. And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead. And the Lord sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose host was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time. And she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah, between Ramah and Bethel in Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinoam, out of Kedesh Naphtali, and said unto him, Hath not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying, Go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali, and of the children of Zebulun? And I will draw unto thee to the river Kishon Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him into thine hand. And Barak said unto her, If thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. And she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thine honor. For the Lord shall sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kedesh. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kedesh, and he went up with 10,000 men at his feet, and Deborah went up with him. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, had severed himself from the Kenites, and pitched his tent under the plain of Zaanaim, which is by Kedesh. And they showed Sisera that Barak the son of Abinoam was gone up to Mount Tabor. And Sisera gathered together all his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were with him, from Harosheth of the Gentiles unto the river of Kishon. And Deborah said unto Barak, Up, for this is the day in which the Lord hath delivered Sisera into thine hand. Is not the Lord gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men after him. And the Lord discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his host with the edge of the sword before Barak, so that Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away on his feet. But Barak pursued after the chariots and after the host unto Harosheth of the Gentiles, and all the host of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword, and there was not a man left. Howbeit Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. For there was peace between Jabin, the king of Hazor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael went out to meet Sisera, and said unto him, Turn in, my lord, turn in to me, fear not. And when he had turned in unto her into the tent, she covered him with a mantle. And he said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk, and gave him drink, and covered him. Again he said unto her, Stand at the door of the tent, and it shall be, when any man doth come and inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here? That thou shalt say, No. Then Jael Heber's wife took a nail of the tent, and took an hammer in her hand, and went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples, and fastened it into the ground. For he was fast asleep and weary. So he died. And behold, as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came out to meet him, and said unto him, Come, and I will show thee the man whom thou seekest. And when he came into her tent, behold, Sisera lay dead, and the nail was in his temples. So God subdued on that day Jabin the king of Canaan before the children of Israel. And the hand of the children of Israel prospered and prevailed against Jabin the king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Jabin king of Canaan. Chapter 5. Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, on that day, saying, Praise ye the Lord for the avenging of Israel, when the people willingly offered themselves. Hear, O ye kings, give ear, O ye princes. I, even I, will sing unto the Lord, I will sing praise to the Lord God of Israel. Lord, when thou wentest out of Seir, when thou marchest out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled and the heavens dropped, the clouds also dropped water. The mountains melted from before the Lord, even that Sinai from before the Lord God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar the son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were unoccupied, and the travelers walked through byways. The inhabitants of the villages ceased. They ceased in Israel, until that I, Deborah, arose, that I arose a mother in Israel. They chose new gods. Then was war in the gates. Was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel? My heart is toward the governors of Israel, that offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye the Lord. Speak ye that ride on white asses, ye that sit in judgment, and walk by the way. They that are delivered from the noise of archers, in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. Awake, awake, Deborah! Awake, awake, utter a song. Arise, Barak, and lead thy captivity captive, thou son of Abinoam. Then he made him that remaineth have dominion over the nobles among the people. The Lord made me have dominion over the mighty. Out of Ephraim was there a root of them against Amalek. After thee, Benjamin, among thy people, out of Machir came down governors, and out of Zebulun they that handle the pen of the writer. And the princes of Issachar were with Deborah, even Issachar and also Barak. He was sent on foot into the valley. For the divisions of Reuben there were great thoughts of heart. Why abodest thou among the sheepfolds, to hear the bleating of the flocks? For the divisions of Reuben there were great searchings of heart. Gilead abode beyond Jordan. And why did Dan remain in ships? Asher continued on the seashore, and abode in his breaches. Zebulun and Naphtali were a people that jeoparded their lives unto the death in the high places of the field. The kings came and fought. Then fought the kings of Canaan and Taanach by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money. They fought from heaven. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera. The river of Kishon swept them away, that ancient river, the river of Kishon. O my soul, thou hast trodden down strength. Then were the horse hoofs broken by the means of the prancings of their mighty ones. Curse ye Meroz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse ye bitterly the inhabitants thereof, because they came not up to the help of the Lord against the mighty. Blessed above women shall Jael the wife of Heber the Kenite be. Blessed shall she be above women in the tent. He asked water, and she gave him milk. She brought forth butter in a lordly dish. She put her hand to the nail, and her right hand to the workman's hammer. And with the hammer she smote Sisera, she smote off his head when she had pierced and stricken through his temples. At her feet he bowed, he fell, he lay down. At her feet he bowed, he fell, where he bowed, there he fell down dead. The mother of Sisera looked out at a window and cried through the lattice, Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the wheels of his chariots? Her wise ladies answered her, yea, she returned answer to herself. Have they not sped? Have they not divided the prey? To every man a damsel or two? To Sisera a prey of divers colors? A prey of divers colors of needlework? Of divers colors of needlework on both sides, meat for the necks of them that take the spoil? So let all thine enemies perish, O Lord, but let them that love thee be as the sun when he goeth forth in his might. And the land had rest 40 years.
Okay, there we go. Got it now. I had the mic muted. But how was that reading? How did you like that reading? Did that sound good? And so a couple questions. I had this question before to some of the paranormal professionals that I talk with, and they don't have any answers for me. Or at least they don't want to share what the answer is. But anyway, where would they get the idea to make a chariot of iron? Who would give them that idea? Who would give them the idea of swords and guns? Now guns, we know, as far as I understand it, that the Chinese discovered gunpowder. And that was like many hundreds of years ago. But where did they get the idea from? Weapons of war, or weapons of protection, or whatever. Where did the idea come from? The guy who was left-handed that killed the big bad king. How did he know that he had to make a double-edged knife or dagger in order to use it with his left hand? Who told him that? Because otherwise, the knife wouldn't have cut correctly. In a lot of cases. I like when I'm ambidextrous, but some don't have that option, and they tend to have to use right or left hand. If you're left-handed, most of your scissors are right-handed only. So you have to turn the scissors upside down to use them. Or you have to learn how to use them with your right hand, which could be dangerous in some cases. But with the knife, he discovered he had to make a double-edged dagger. Who told him that? What the chariots of iron? Who gave him that idea? The people I'm talking about. Just some thoughts about questions about weapons of war and just inventions in general. Where do we get the ideas from? And then at the end there, they're talking about a great battle in the stars. What are they talking about? They're talking about space wars, or are they talking about something that we're coming up to at this point, that we're seeing unfold before us today? Not really sure. But just be ready. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add our finishing song that I like to end with. Okay. And with that, I gotta change the order of that. Let me fix that first. And now I can add that. So interesting stuff there. Tomorrow night will be 6 through, oh, excuse me. Tomorrow night will be 6 through, we can do 5. We'll do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Counting 6 through 10, that would be 5 right there, right? 6, including 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that will be 5, yeah. So through chapter 10, 6 through 10, if that is okay with you. Now, let me get the closing song up here. There we go. All right, here we go. Man, that was a challenge today when I changed that to an MP3. I got it done and I was able to play it on the radio. Okay, here we go.
The universe is calling you. The universe is calling me. It speaks both day and night. It's full of dark and light, and I've heard others call from light years away, and they're real and they're here. Space and time are instantly clear. Planets spin, grids in place. We can travel through space, fields and forms, math and voids. It all sings with one voice. It's home. Boundaries set, foundations laid. Sound was heard, matter made. Solar systems from afar. Names and numbers for the stars, and I've heard others call from light years away, and they're real and they're here. Space and time are instantly clear. Planets spin, grids in place. We can travel through space. It's the Lord's.
All right. Well, I think that's all I got for tonight. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate that. And we'll be back tomorrow night. Hopefully a little bit closer to on time. Now that I got that audio part of that down. We'll see if it gives me a copyright strike or not. Hope not. Hopefully it'll let me use that version of that. Alright, if they do, then I'll keep using it. Alright? If they don't, I'm going to be back to the drawing board and we'll try to find something that we can use. Alright. So that's all I got though. Everybody have a great night. And we'll see you next time.